Thank you, David. And Dr. Bach, thank you very much. I can't believe you stole most of my material. But I'll zip through this because we don't want to make this a night of too many speeches. We want you to have fun and see the exhibit. But I do have to thank some people, members of the IOC, distinguished guests. I want to thank the VANOC folks because they've been great. Dr. Jack Taunton, Dr. Matt Federock, Jeremy Luke, Liesl Jack, Connie Baxter, Jane Fenero, and Mayor Malcolm Brody and Malcolm staff. You guys have been absolutely great. We love this place. It's as David said, it's not a city hall. It's a museum, and so we were very honored when we got asked to do our cultural education exhibit, and a great team to work with. Let me just say that we have two special guests who were wonderful surprises. Debbie Thomas from 1988 from Calgary, a very prominent Olympian, who's also Dr. Debbie Thomas, is here tonight, and I'm very honored that she's here. And my dear friend Chrissy Perham, who is a 92 Barcelona multiple gold medalist in swimming. She's here, and I'm delighted that she's here. And as Dick said the other night at UBC, if you heard his speech about athletes who go on, win medals, but then go on to give back to the community, here is a wonderful example of a young woman who's been giving back, traveling around North America, doing prevention, education, outreach for drug-free sport, and we're really proud of her. So let me turn to our guest of honor now, and the awardee of the Global Sport Development Award, Richard Pound. Richard needs no introduction, as everybody's been saying all night. It's really true. But here's just a few tidbits from me and my heart. As you know, Richard's had a long and elegant career with the Olympic movement. At the age of 16, Richard was the Canadian national freestyle champion and a member of Canada's 1958 Pan Am team. In 1960, Richard represented, oh, look at this. Just as we talk about his Olympic career, it seems to light up. Richard was an Olympian in Rome, finishing 1.1 second behind the gold medalist, and in typical comeback style, and we know that Richard's not all that competitive. Richard came back 2 years later and won the gold at the 1962 Commonwealth Games. Shortly thereafter, Richard retired from a lifetime of ingesting chlorine, not a performance-enhancing drug as far as we know, and he left the swimming pool. But his career as an Olympic mentor and leading figure in the Olympic community was just beginning, and little did we know. Richard received bachelor's degrees in commerce and civil law from McGill University, as well as a Bachelor of Arts from Sir George Williams. He went on to become a partner in the prestigious law firm of Stikeman Elliott, and he has served for many years as chancellor of McGill University. Along the way, Richard has served as president of the Canadian Olympic Committee, vice president of the IOC for many years, and committed himself to many appointments with the Judicial Commission, Broadcast Rights, CAS, Court of Arbitration for Sport, which is mentioned before, marketing, and more. And in between flights to all 5 continents and hundreds of meetings over many, many decades, Richard found time to write 9 books. And by the way, that's as of last week, my Google search. It may have changed, I'm not sure. There was talk earlier about something new coming out. So the other thing is Richard's very accomplished, but he's also great with emails, as all of you know, and I think everybody here knows what I'm talking about. The guy answers emails within minutes, seconds, whatever, and he's unbelievable about being responsive. And so I've often been curious how he does that, because he's at 40,000 feet most of the time. So maybe he has a special satellite, we're not sure. Donna Brown, Richard's legal secretary at Stikeman Elliott for over 34 years, is here tonight to acknowledge this wonderful event and welcome Donna. She reminded me of some Richard Pound zingers. And one of them is, it's easier to be busy than to look busy. And the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. Those are two of Richard's favorites. All of us who know Richard understand these poundisms as they reflect Richard's hard work and dedication in so many arenas. But most importantly to me and my colleagues in the prevention and education arena, Richard found WADA, as we all know, and this will be a great legacy for all of us. With his chair of WADA, Richard literally changed the complexion of Olympic sport and shifted the paradigm toward ethical, fair, and clean play. Often taking criticism and flack for his outspoken ways, Richard never wavered in his demand for setting a new threshold for clean and fair sport. Working tirelessly with colleagues around the world and getting all nations in the Olympic family to sign on to the WADA Code, Richard found a way to change the business-as-usual attitude and demand clean competition. This will be his legacy. Once again, we have the red lights. Richard's legacy is an elegant one, and one that has already shifted the perception of how youngsters approach sport, how their coaches conduct training, and how we teach the values and conduct of clean competition. It's more than just drug testing or deterrence. It's a process of learning and education and a belief in fair play, as Dr. Bach said. And for this work and the legacy that Richard leaves for my children and all of yours, we are proud to award him the Global Sports Development Humanitarian Award. I thank his wife, Julie, and their 5 children for sharing Richard with the Olympic family for so many years. Richard, congratulations.